Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this extra tall cake with a spray of real flowers. Got some blue buttercream, applying my cake onto the cake board, securing it with the buttercream, and then going in with my first layer of filling, which is the exact same buttercream. Flattening it out, making sure to press it out to the sides, and then applying on my next layer. So I've used 3 6-inch cakes in total. I cut them all in half so I have 6 layers of cake. Because this is a pretty tall cake, I'm going to kind of press in 2 large dowels, mark them where they kind of meet the cake, and then cut them underneath that line so they just sit underneath the cake. Press them back down, and then we'll press all that excess buttercream up against the cake. Now before I apply the crumb coat, I'm going to freeze that for about 10 minutes, and then apply a very thin layer of buttercream on the outside of my cake. Go around the sides, the top as well, pushing it out to the sides, and that overhang of buttercream helps to fill in the spaces at the very top as well. Then take your bench scraper and scrape off the sides just to neaten it off, and then we'll pop that back into the freezer for 10 minutes. Now we'll add in our very last layer of frosting, so I'm starting off at the top, pushing it out to the sides, making sure it's nice and neat and flat, and then adding a very healthy amount on the outside of my cake. Making sure not to leave any spaces behind, and then going in with another bench scraper a bit taller than the cake and smoothing it off. I'm adding just more buttercream where I see any pockets or any holes or spaces, and then run it under some hot water and go around your cake really slowly, and that makes a very smooth finish for your buttercream. Clear up the top as well, and then our very last trip back to the freezer for another 10 minutes just so that it sets up and we can paint onto it without denting the buttercream. While that's happening, I've got some flowers here, poking a 22 gauge wire into the side of the flower, twisting it over itself so it's nice and secured on there, and then take off that stem piece there so we have just the flower. Here I have some copper kind of powder by Creative Cake Decorating, added in a little bit of alcohol to create a paint, and then going around the sides of my cake with a brush just here and there, some taller, some shorter. And then once that's all been painted, I'm going to go over them a second time to make sure it's nice and opaque. Do the exact same for your the top of your cake as well. Or you might decide to leave it just at the bottom as well if you like that, or just at the top. And then I'll go in with some silver, do the exact same thing, create a paint with some platinum silver I think I used by Creative Cake Decorating again, and then going over it a second time. Just really strengthens the colour of your paint. Next we'll apply our flowers, so I've got them on the wire and I'm poking it into the cake. Not very deep, so you don't want it to be too long. I mean, wires in a cake, there's a lot of controversy against that. I personally think it's fine, granted that you trust the wire that you're using. And then poke it into the cake, kind of along the side of the cake, travelling down. Add in some leaves there as well, and a cake top if you have one, and you're done. So you make an extra tall cake decorated with a spray of real flowers and some gold and silver paint as well. Very easy cake to do, pretty quick as well. The whole process, cutting, filling and everything else, probably took me about maybe an hour or so. So it's one of the easier ones again. And that's the tutorial for today. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this really quick cake tutorial, and I will catch you next time. If you like the little 21 topper, I sell that on my website, rosiesdessertspot.com.